Maybe I'm a little bit late to this party, but in this video, we are going to be talking about everything that's wrong with the RLC Toyota Supra starting right now. All right, guys, here it is. It is finally here, and I actually had to order this off of eBay, and I did get scalped. I paid, let's just get this out of the way, $75 for this. Some of you guys may know that these are about $25 plus shipping, so you're looking at about $33.35. They were smart enough to put it in this blister pack protector. So we're gonna pop this open and be super careful, because let me tell you what's gonna happen here next. You might be surprised here. So it's something that I already noticed as I was opening it, and as you can see, this thing just comes right off. And it was already doing this in that little protector case. But what we're gonna do is let's just put the car down here for now and talk about the artwork on the car. So the artwork on the car, not bad. Got the Red Line Club logo here. You've got a nice blue RSP Supra is what we call it in the community for that. TE37 looks like bronze finish on there. More RLC stuff, some background on the Supra. This is something I do respect about Hot Wheels, is that they do get the licensing, so officially licensed by Toyota. And believe it or not, guys, right here, look at that. 14 years of age or older. So Hot Wheels is targeting the adult collector with these setups. Now, a lot of Hot Wheels are actually already collected mostly by adults, I want to say. These poor kids, they don't even have Hot Wheels to play with anymore because these adults are going there and grabbing them all. But let's get this out of the way. Now that we're done with that, let's talk about the car here. Now we're talking about reasons and things that are wrong with this car. So the first thing that's wrong, I think we figured it out, right? There's not enough glue on the product to be able to hold this onto the cardboard piece here. A lot of people complaining about that. Oh my gosh, I wanted to, have a sealed product. I don't, and all that stuff. But really, at the end of the day, guys, if you really wanted to, you could just glue it back, use some of that Elmer school glue that you guys used to use back in the day, put that back, and it's not gonna be a problem. Now, for the other guys, you're gonna open it anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter regardless. Now, let's move on to the car. So the car, we can just, I guess, slip it out here. This is my first time opening one of these. Okay, so let's just talk about something else. The price point. Remember, I just mentioned that? That was actually number 2, is that some guys are getting scalped in order to buy this, especially me here, but I did it so that I could be able to do this review. So it's unfortunate that some people are gonna get scalped in order to get this. Obviously with these RLC type of things, there's bots, there's people buying them 10 at a time, and all these different accounts and ways to do it. So unfortunately, that's just how it works. Just something that's not gatekept very well, but hopefully in the future, there'll be some improvements to be able to try and limit that. So let's carefully take this out. Okay, now let's move this over here with all that and take a look at the car. Okay, so there's the car. As you can see, there's opening hood details, which is kind of neat. They did give it a shot, but let's just start from the front and the opening hood areas here. So the front bumper, it's got a nice big front mount intercooler. This is actually the turn signal, which they've colored it gray. I'm not sure why it's gray. Typically it's amber on a lot of the Supras that exist in real life and in the higher end model cars. The other side, the same exact way. There's no lip or anything underneath the front bumper, so we're going with a lipless look. Supra's always having a lip, but not in this case. But we can't dog on them too much, right guys, because we're dealing with Hot Wheels. And one of the things that I actually made fun of online in the Hot Wheels community were the headlights. So take a look at these headlight decals. Obviously, always going to be decals with the Hot Wheels, right? And as you can see, something is just very unproportional about it. As you can see right there, the headlights not really supposed to be looking like that in real life. It looks like that meme that I shared online. So we got the logo here on the bumper, which is good. And then let's move on to the engine bay details. Not too great in my opinion, because of the things that I've seen that's out there when it comes to the higher end collectibles. This just looks like a little engine bay mold, and they just kind of painted the different parts to make it look like what exists in real life. So you've got the stock TT setup over here, the twin turbos. You've got a spark plug cover right there in blue. You've got an intake manifold. You've got the power steering reservoir there and a battery. So it's got some detail there, not too much, but there is something there. And maybe a lot of the Hot Wheels guys aren't used to what is out there right now, and maybe they think this looks freaking awesome. Now, one of the other problems that a lot of guys had was this hood closing. and not closing all the way, and some of it would pop up. But let's see in our case what happens. All right, so moment of truth here. We're gonna close it. Oh, I guess we lucked out. Ours does close. Close is actually pretty good. Not too bad there. Oh, let's talk about the paint. Now, Hot Wheels is dubbing this some sort of Spectra Flame, race team blue. I don't know why they went with this super special paint job. Maybe because it's an RLC. Paint job actually isn't bad. I mean, we've seen kind of like paint jobs like this in the N064 line and some of their exotic paint jobs. Let's move on to, let's see, we've already talked about those funky looking headlights. We've already talked about the engine bay detail. Let's move on to the side. All right, so you've got these bad boys, rolling wheels, which, Hot Wheels is known for. Here are those bronze 6-spokes. What's missing here? No side view mirrors. Look at that. So no side view mirrors for that one. And guys, we're seeing a huge problem here. Let me show you right here. I'll be careful. I'm not gonna scratch it. Look at this. Look at this gap right here. This gap, look, I just put my knife through it. Look at that. That's actually a huge defect, I think. I've heard some guys talk about it online, so it's actually pretty interesting to see it in person right there. Moving on, door handles actually like disappeared here almost because the paint is so thick. You can barely see the bulge there for the door handle. Now, I will say this is actually another cool thing that Hot Wheels did with this one, and that's the removable targa. So something that I actually have not seen in the higher end stuff. So it's kind of neat to see that, and it just got a little fit there and you just snap it back in like that. I'm not sure if some of the guys were having issues with the targa top not going all the way. I want to say some people were having some issues with that, but maybe that's because the paint was too thick. I'm not sure, but the targa top actually is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, pretty cool. Okay, so let's move on towards the back. All right, the back. Ooh, lots of issues back here, but just another paint mark for the rear reflector there. You do have this Supra spoiler, Toyota logo, no Supra logo. You got the Tampa for the tail lights there. And actually the colors here for the tail lights are not correct. Because on the 9798, you actually have what's called a gray housing tail light. So it's actually not this black housing that you see here. It's supposed to be like a light gray, dark gray type of setup. So incorrect, period, for the tail lights on this thing. They've got the unicorn license plate there, and then a little Supra exhaust. Looks like a stock exhaust. So a couple things going on there that I don't agree with, but they did what they could. And then on the other side, it's gonna be the exact same. What do we see in the interior? The interior, you're gonna have the tan leather seats. So they try to spice it up a little bit, put some tan in there. They didn't wanna keep it that traditional, just black, mold color type of thing. So they actually went with a little bit more in there. They do have the stick shift, steering wheel, and the center console area actually doesn't look too bad. It does actually look like a Supra dashboard. So that's pretty interesting. Even to pay $35 shipped for something like this, I'd kind of disagree that this is the best they could do. This is the best that Hot Wheels can do. There's plenty of other Supras that I've seen when it comes to the Mark IV. Some of those brands, notably from Hobby Japan, has a great lineup of highly detailed Supras, and some of those Supras are going to be using inserts for the headlights and tail lights, things like that. A lot of detail. And we can also talk about the scale of this thing. Hot Wheels obviously marketing themselves as a 64 scale line, but us guys have come to understand that they are actually not true 64 scale. And some of the higher end stuff is actually 64 scale. So if you wanted to go with that route, there's another advantage you have there too. No details like windshield wipers, no defrost details here. So keeping it pretty basic. But again, just at this price point, I would want to get something like, let's say, a Mini GT Supra or a BMC Creations Top Secret Supra that they recently released. Tarmax has some. Even I've got this one here, for example. So we'll put that down, right? That was $75 for me. Originally 25, but take a look at this. This here, this is a Supra from a brand called LCD Models, fully licensed, all legit stuff. But let me just give you guys a quick look into the collector grade, collectible model era. Even this is a little bit more of a simpler setup, but it does come with this acrylic case, which is a nice little protector. And then here, you can see some of the differences already, right? You're gonna get like side view mirrors and door handles that actually look like door handles, a brake vent that actually looks like a brake vent. Here, you're gonna get details for the turn signal, which is actually amber in this case. Look at those headlight covers, real headlight covers. And you're gonna be like, oh wow, that looks actually a little bit smaller. Well, that's because it's true 64 scale when compared to this guy, which is a little fatty. Okay, so look here. Windshield wiper details, defrost details. Now this is actually a hardtop right-hand drive. A lot of the Supras in Japan are hardtop. This is actually a left-hand drive, so that's why you're gonna get these Targas, which are a lot more common in the States. Take a look back here, look at that. Not a decal, an actual plastic cover with inserts, an exhaust that actually looks like an exhaust. Take a look at those OEM wheels. Now, let me give you guys the big reveal though on this. Take a look at that engine bay detail. Now this is a proper way to do it. Even though this is still a very simple setup when it comes to engine bay details, take a look at how much more detail it has. It actually looks like there's an engine in there, right? Not just a plastic mold and then you just color some pieces in. So let's compare it side by side. And so when you compare these two side by side, you can immediately notice the difference, right? Look at those engine bay details. I'm telling you guys, for the money, there are a lot better things out there. I'm sure I've missed some more details on there, such as what else? The lip. This one even has like a little lip on there. You see it right there. It's got a rear windshield wiper right there. Obviously, I'm not going to convince the hardcore Hot Wheel collector, right? I mean, you guys are always going to buy whatever it is that you guys want to buy when it comes to Hot Wheels. So no biggie there. You guys collect whatever it is you like. I'm just here to give you guys a little taste of what else is out there. Let me know what you guys think about this RLC, and I've already got it packaged up, and this will be randomly given away to a customer on the website. So if you place any orders, this will be randomly given away within the near future. But if you enjoyed this video and you're looking for more Hot Wheels comparisons to the collectible type of model cars, you can check out those videos in the next slide. I'll see you in those videos or my next video.